was a witness to a shooting in Ferguson last August. We're going to hear now what that person is saying in just a few minutes. A star player from the Seattle Seahawks used a life-size cutout to take on the NFL in a bizarre news conference, and Andy Schultz has more about Richard Sherman in this Bleacher Report. Oh, yes, I know who we're talking about, definitely. Good morning.
Good morning, Robin. This is pretty funny. We all know Richard Sherman's not afraid to speak his mind, and yesterday he put on a parody challenging many of the NFL's policies. Now, Sherman and Doug Baldwin, they came into the interview room, and Baldwin was carrying a cutout of himself. Then Sherman proceeded to interview himself next to the cutout of Baldwin. He started by berating the NFL for fining Marshawn Lynch $100,000 for not speaking to the media. And then he went on to mock many of the league's rules and policies.
Jeez Louise. But you know who does pay me a lot of money? Beats by Dre, the wonderful headphones that I wear. But the league doesn't let me say anything about them. Doug, why is that?
I don't know. Sounds kind of hypocritical to me.
No, it sounds a little bit hypocritical. It seems like we're in a league where they say, players, you don't endorse any alcohol. Please don't endorse alcohol. No DUIs, please. But yet, a beer sponsor is their biggest sponsor. Doug, how do you feel about that?
Well, like I said, it sounds very hypocritical.
Went on a parade against the NFL. And Robin, I'm sure Sherman's going to be hearing from the league office about that rant.
Wow!
Yeah, incredible. All right, the latest college football playoff rankings are out, and Alabama is still number one. In fact, the top 4 spots remain unchanged from last week. Oregon is number 2, followed by defending champion Florida State, and then Mississippi State. However, these rankings, they could look very different after this week's rivalry.
Where was Ohio State last week? They didn't change?
They did not change. They stayed right there.
Jeez.
All right, first responders in Houston got a surprise yesterday. Free pizza compliments of Texan superstar J.J. Watt.
That's nice.
This was great. The pies came with a handwritten note thanking the police officers and firefighters for their service. Now, Watt's father and uncle, they were both firefighters, so he's got a lot of respect for the job these guys do. Such a great thing to see the greatest player in the NFL taking time out to do something like this.
So he sent pizzas to how many different fire stations?
A couple stations and police stations.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Very nice, very thoughtful. A town in Pennsylvania has decided to keep its so-called